It's been a great day for uranium. Uranium is up to $50 again. I'm glad I made that last video. It was pretty good luck. Uranium stocks like UEC went up almost 20% in one day, and it just shows you how much you can make by just swing trading or day trading these stocks. And that is why I love to do it. So hit that like and subscribe button below. We got a lot to update you on in this video. I'm very excited to do it. UEC was the top runner for uranium stocks yesterday, and it closed about 18%. And this is great because this stock was almost up since the last few weeks, close to 40%. You can see here. So this is a big move in a few weeks. It's great for a stock like this because, you know, at its high, this thing went up to, you know, 656. So this stock, along with other uranium stocks, especially the U.S. producers, we've seen run a lot. The U.S. Enricher and HALEU, LEU, ran up a bunch as well since its low a few weeks ago. Still can't believe this stock actually went as low as 1747. We can see here as well that a few weeks ago, this stock, you know, 17 bucks just in a few weeks, you know, ran up almost 58%. So, you know, these stocks, these have all been ones that I've been trading or establishing long-term positions in. Energy Fuels, same thing. We've went up close to 30+%. This is one that I actually traded yesterday. We've got some really nice news though today. We'll probably see the NASDAQ, nice news for uranium, but we'll probably see the NASDAQ pull back some. We see pre-market, it is actually down over 1%. So we're going to see how that goes today. The big news with uranium, which is very positive, I think, it says that Westinghouse is going to they're going to build 9 nuclear reactors for Ukraine. This is great. Now they're going to have close to 15 reactors. And what's great about this, it also says an agreement was reached to increase the supply of American nuclear fuel for Ukrainian nuclear power plants. So the issue is providing fuel to these existing power plants, and the new ones that are going to be constructed, they're going to want to provide U.S. fuel. So, you know, we got this nuclear renaissance, especially in the U.S. And then it says that it's going to be supplied from the Westinghouse production site there in Sweden. And at the same time, fuel assembly components will be produced in Ukraine at a separate division. And so, you know, they're going to be bringing in probably U.S. uranium, North America probably. So, you know, it could be Canadian obviously as well. Cameco. What's great about this is these are the new AP1000 plants, you know, which is going to be 15 total is what they're saying. And it also said, obviously, that Ukraine completely gave up Russian nuclear fuel this, you know, at the start of the war. And I actually saw a lot of this coming with specifically, I think it was back in November, I think Ukraine was saying that they're wanting to wean off of Russian fuel for the reactors. So, yeah, obviously they'd been, you know, in a war for a long time, smaller war than what they have now. But this is very, very interesting. We saw the overall market, the NASDAQ, almost 3%. So, you know, every stock you can see pretty much was up. A lot of the big stocks, you know, Amazon, Google, Apple, Tesla, you know, almost 5% here. So it was a good day. What was great was uranium. Actually, in the early mornings when the NASDAQ was down, uranium stocks took off like crazy. So are they unyoked, decoupled? It's a possibility. You know, oil was down as well. So I saw that as a very positive thing. And, you know, I've been day and swing trading uranium. Energy Fuels, 1 day move, you know, $22,000. It's a great opportunity. That's why I like to day and swing trade uranium. You know, you can sleep better at night because obviously the market, when you day trade, you know, you close the position usually. And that overnight position specifically I held in Energy Fuels, you know, you can see how much it can swing. Uranium is now at $50. That's one big thing, $50 on the ask. And we had that low of 46 back in May. And obviously a few things, China, the demand is coming back, 150 new reactors. And we're going to obviously see a lot of these new reactors. I just showed you Westinghouse, and that's Ukraine. So we have seen China bring up these reactors a lot faster. And we're not going to be getting this Russian fuel. You know, it supplies 43% to the world. A lot of these, we've seen the price of enrichment go up. The demand's just going to continue to go up. And one big thing is Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, as you can see, this was back in February. They were buying some of the biggest amounts of pounds per day, 1.4 million. And back last year when we seen the biggest moves in uranium stocks, they were buying 1.4 million pounds, which they could do right now. They have $86 million and they could buy that much pounds. I think that because the past month and a half, 2 months, they haven't really bought very many, as you can see here, yet they're still have stacked up a cumulative amount of 55.6 million pounds. And they've got, that is worth 2.7 billion, but $85 million. So I do think that they're going to start to have another big buy like that, 1.4 million. So if you look back to February, this is my Discord. We track uranium every single day. February 25th was when they bought that 1.4 million pounds around, and it was $44 spot. We're at 50 now. And within a few weeks, they bought another 1.4 million or so. And you can see that a couple weeks later, spot went up to $60. And it moves very fast. We were at 60 on, March 10th. And, we went up to close to $65, and now we're at 50. So is it a possibility? Is it very possible that we see another 1.4 million, a big buy like that, and it starts things off, and then we head to 70? I do think that we're going to see $70 uranium trade very soon, $70, $75. And pre-inflation prices, 4 or 5 years ago, this would have been enough to let these uranium mines somewhat get started, make a profit, get into production. But we're probably seeing, in my opinion, $100+. But it's very positive, other than the market, pre-market right now is down 1%. The NASDAQ, we're seeing unemployment numbers today. We're probably going to see, it being a Friday, we're probably going to see the overall market close down, but who knows, close down a couple percent, maybe 1% into the weekend. We'll see what uranium does. Commodities, for the most part, were green, except, Brent, crude, oil. It's right there about even. We haven't seen that go up. They're still kind of on the fence about what's going to happen. But uranium stocks, they move quickly, move very fast. LEU was, Centrus Energy, 13%. Energy Fuels did about a 10% plus move. UEC is usually the leader in a lot of times. It's also the leader, and this stock is usually trading a little bit lower. We can see, though, that a lot of them trade very similar. The charts look very similar. We were in that falling wedge in a downtrend breakout, and, we're starting to somewhat consolidate. Very still big swings up and down, obviously. Went down to $5 and almost hit $7. I think if we see spot uranium run like it did, they hit 1.4 million, 1.5 million pounds, and then they're able to get that premium going again and stack 300,000-400,000 pounds. We'll probably see, as long as the market, I think, can hold up, as long as we don't see a 3,000 drop in the NASDAQ or something, 3,000 points, we're probably going to see uranium stocks like Energy Fuels, UEC, get back up to this mid-range here where it was. And if we see new $70 uranium spot trade, we'll probably see new highs with uranium. I think, it's still, we didn't hit with, the new high 65 close dollars with spot. We didn't hit the highs that we got back here, but the market we're in is still very volatile. If the NASDAQ, does even better next week, it's just going to be good, I think. But, we somewhat have been unyoked from the overall market, but obviously a lot of traders, and investors, if they see the NASDAQ drop a bunch, they're probably going to take some profits. Doesn't mean they're going to sell out everything. They might sell out everything. We'll see. But uranium stocks did very well for the most part. We're doing fine. We had that, 40+% pullback on a lot of these uranium stocks, but I'm still very, very bullish uranium, and we'll see. So Sprott Physical Uranium Trust going to load 1.5 million pounds of uranium. I really do think that they're going to do that. Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited about this next round of uranium? Are we going to hit 70? Are you guys glad that I did another video? Seems to be every time I do these videos, we see a pretty good run in, uranium stocks. So I'm going to continue to do these. There's, good news out there, a lot of positive stuff. I probably messed up the YouTube algorithm because I haven't made a video in like 2 months. So a lot of people probably don't even know that I made a last video. So hit that like so the video can get out there and people can see this. And in the Discord, there's a link in the description below. I'm going to be trading probably today, uranium stocks, day trading, swing trading. You've seen what you can make with just an overnight move in uranium, and that was just one stock. So keep on the lookout for new videos. Hit that like below, and I'm very excited for this next round of uranium. And until next time.